Here on PSL, we like to let you learn more about the newer people you see on our station. Today, let's get to know Hernan Gutierrez. Hernan is on our reporting team, or multimedia journalist, as we say now. Yes. MMJ, right, yeah. Hernan? Is that what you like to say?
I feel like people don't know what that means, so I always say I'm just a reporter for TV6.
Yes, not just a reporter, but you are on our staff. How long have you been with us as a reporter now?
So I've been on air for about 6 months. About the first 3 months I was editing and doing a bunch of off-scene stuff, getting my feet wet here in the Quad Cities and doing some stories here and there. But full-time reporting, I started in November. I got hired here for August, last week August, I think.
Did you always know you wanted to be on camera?
So that's an interesting story. We'll go back to when I was picking majors for when I wanted to go to college. I originally thought I wanted to be a computer programmer. So I applied to colleges as a computer science major, and I went through my list of schools. And then my senior year of high school, through competing with speech and debate and all of that, I kind of found what it was to speak for myself and be a person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of when I started to delve into journalism and maybe TV production, because I like the techie side of things too. So I slowly started getting my feet wet in TV and finding out what it was that I liked to do.
Through speech and debate, I
yes.
like that.
Yeah.
That's a good avenue to enter in, because it helps you think on your feet, all those good things. Okay, now we're going to look at these pictures that you shared with us. So these are from, how old are some of these?
Most of these are, that one is pretty recently, maybe 3 months ago. The one in front of the Olympic rings, that was last summer. I got to do an internship, well, it was more of a freelance gig with the Olympics and NBC Sports there. And
cool.
There I'm moderating debate in Des Moines, which was 2 weekends ago.
Yes.
And then this one right here, where I'm at the SportsCenter set, that was 3 summers ago, 2019. I interned for some of the Latin American programming over at ESPN.
So you're from Morris, Illinois.
Correct.
Tell
yes.
folks who don't know Morris where it is from the Quad Cities.
So mile marker 112, if I remember correctly, on Interstate 80. It's super close. The Quad Cities have always kind of been like in the shadow of where I grew up, I guess. I knew what the Quad Cities were. I knew Rock Island. I knew Moline. So it's about 2 hours from here, east on I-80. If you ever go to Chicago on I-80, you probably see the big water tower.
It's Chicago-ish. Well, it's not real.
Nah,
did you,
right? I say that I'm an hour away from Chicago.
Okay.
On a good day, it's an hour.
Got it. Now, how about Peoria? That cropped up a lot in your information.
Yes, yeah. So I went to school at Bradley University. My major was sports communication. So that's kind of how I started. They have one of the better programs in the country for that degree. So I went there. I spent 5 years there because originally I was a computer science major, and I did that for 5 semesters, I think, 2.5 years. Then I had to stick another year around school because there wasn't, as you can imagine, not a whole lot of overlapping classes in those 2 programs.
Well, by now you've covered a lot of different topics on the air as a reporter. Is there something that you're really drawn to? Do you like human interest stuff, more of the crime stuff? What?
So I always think it's kind of interesting because I have 2 sides on that spectrum. I really like sports stories and kind of not necessarily games and events, but the stories of like athletes persevering or causes that use sports as kind of a vehicle to promote good causes. I know I did a story about Gigi's Playhouse over in Moline. They got their design, on the cleat of an NFL player, and I always thought that was really cool. But I also like local government. A lot of people find that stuff not as exciting, but that's kind of the things that matter the most to people here in the Quad Cities. What's coming out of City Hall is what's going to impact you the most. So I've always thought it's cool to kind of see how our local government and county government are working.
That's very diverse. Sports and city government. Yeah. I've had a lot of people mention to me, Hernan, about your name and the way you say it on the air, which they seem to love. I don't know. What you say your name?
So in Spanish, it's Hernan Gutierrez.
And you do the role.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for my first name, it's not a double R, so it's not Hernan, it's Hernan. It's a subtle roll, but not a a hard role, if that makes any sense.
How is that? How has your first name been for you growing up? Do people know how to say it ever?
No.
They call you Herman or whatever, right? Yeah.
So I grew up. A lot of substitute teachers would always call me Hernan, Hernan.
Oh.
A lot of different things. I would always have classmates kind of, ready to not defend me, but kind of correct the teachers for me.
Correct you.
Yeah.
This is you with your family?
Yes. Yeah, that was graduation. Here's some of my friends. This was just a couple of months ago, maybe a month or two ago. I was in Chicago celebrating my friend Adam. He was the one directly close to me.
Okay.
It was his birthday.
Look how you tower over the rest of your family.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
On the far left is my older brother. His name's Adrian. Next to him is my dad, also Adrian. And then my mom next to me is Susanna. I've always been taller. My dad always likes to say that when my grandpa was younger, he was pretty tall. I don't know.
Have they been in town yet to see you here?
No, not yet. I think they're planning to come soon, but they haven't had time. No.
Well, Hernan, we're really proud to have you here, and you're doing great. And there's all the info if you guys want to go online on Hernan's Facebook and check it out. Now you know how to say his name. You don't have to say the last name exactly the way he says it, but we all try anyway. Hernan, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.